How you guys doing? Derek in Malaysia here. So this video, I'm making it in Malaysia because I'm actually learning a lesson at the moment in Malaysia, and just happened to come together like that. So the lesson that I learned is that, there's this ideology in the Christian community that something bad happens to you, or if the situation seems dire, to just say, okay, it's God's will, and I'm just going to accept it, and I'm just going to see what happens, and in the end I'll be okay, I'm saved, and so I'm going to go to heaven anyway, so whatever happens doesn't matter, and blah blah blah. And I grew up with that mentality a lot as well, and it's a very disempowering mentality, to be honest. So Jesus does say that, like, if somebody asks you for their cloak, for example, just give it to them. But let's say if somebody came up to you and said, hey, give me your house, are you going to say yes? Are you going to say okay? You're not going to say yes, right? Because that would be pretty crazy, and I think the world would start seeing, oh, you know what? Christians are very easy to take advantage of. Let's start asking them for everything and just take all they have. No, we're not supposed to give it up. And I honestly don't know, like, the difference or how to really draw the line. But I just want to tell the story is that I was on my way to get my visa here, and I didn't know that I needed a criminal record check from my country, which it was not listed in the documentation. And a criminal record check for my country takes a long time. I have to get fingerprints at the police station. I have to get that notarized. I have to send that to America by mail. I have to wait like weeks until they send me something by email, and it's expensive, a little bit expensive too. So I didn't know I had to do that in order to get my visa, because I'm living in Thailand, and I just got this company to sponsor me, and they didn't know about it either because it's not even on the website. So I came here, right, and I went there to apply, and they're like, oh, you're missing your criminal record check. And I was thinking, oh man, that's awful. And they said, you can try, with the police station, you can ask them, and they seem so unsure. And so I kind of knew, like, no, it's not going to work, because I know that the application says that I need a record check from my own company, authorized by my embassy, etc. And then I thought, okay, I came all the way to Malaysia. Now that's going to be a long process. So now I have to go back to Thailand, and I have to start the process. I have to wait weeks. I have to book another flight here to Malaysia, etc. Okay? And this is going to be a big hassle. It's going to be more expensive and more annoying. And I almost accepted that reality. I almost accepted it. And that's kind of how I used to do things. I used to just accept because God's got me and blah, blah, blah. But this is a very disempowering way of viewing the world. And what's interesting is, a lot of people, we see God in the way that we see our fathers. And if your father was only concerned about your survival and not really about your heart, as mine kind of was growing up, that's the way you're going to see the world, because you're not being told since a child that you're worthy of someone caring about your heart and what you want. And so if you hold that belief, then you're more likely to be passive in life. You're more likely to not go after what you want, to just kind of accept if it's good enough, if you're going to get by. But I decided, you know what? Life has been telling me, God has been telling me, that's not how the reality works. That's not how it works. I don't care what church tells us. It's like we can choose our reality, okay? So I thought, you know what? No, I'm not okay. That's not what I want. I'm gonna go back and talk to that lady and see maybe what can be done. She seemed pretty friendly, so I'm gonna ask her something else. So I went back and I just skipped the queue. I went right to her. I told her, like, you know, it's going to be a long process, blah, blah, blah. And then she seemed certain suddenly that if I go to the Malaysian police department and I get a criminal record check, that they'll accept it. And I thought, okay, great. So I went there, and then they told me, like, we can't just give you a criminal record check, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I just felt so certain in my heart that it's going to work out. And I remember I was just looking at the lady, and she was looking at me as if kind of suspicious at the beginning. And I just told her, you know, my situation. And she just left, and she processed it. She let it be. She gave it to me. They gave it to me that day. So that really strengthened my belief that we have power. Like, if you don't have power, what is the appeal to be a follower to believe in Jesus? Like, what is the appeal? People want to feel good. People want to feel power. And you have to show that you have power in your life. So anyway, I came back to immigration just now. So yesterday I booked an appointment. You have to have an appointment. I booked an appointment online, and I thought I had it, right? And then I came today, and they're like, oh, you're not in the system. I don't see your name. You got to book it for tomorrow. But if I book it for tomorrow, I have to like cancel my flight. I have to book another flight. I have to stay another day. I really don't want to. And I was faced with the exact same dilemma. Do I just accept that, you know, this situation sucks, blah, blah, blah? Or do I believe, you know what? No. I'm going to use my faith. I'm going to use my whatever, belief, and the power to believe that, you know what, I can get what I want in life. So with that in mind, I can't just go up to the person and say, no, give me today. So with that belief, the thing is that it inspired a different way of thinking. It inspired a idea. So then I looked at my phone and I looked at the history, and I saw that I did have a ticket. It says ticket in the history from my embassy registration or whatever for the appointment. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring that to the security guard, and I showed him, hey, so I did book it, but you see the history that I tried to book it, but something went wrong. And then he said, okay, I'll help you. And then he just got me in. Like, I was like one of the last person, but he took my information and got me in. I went in, I just finished giving my documents. They told me to come and pick it up tomorrow. So as much as I hate these visa runs, honestly, the whole point of the visa system and everything is because the world is not perfect, because people don't have Jesus. That's why we have crime. That's why we have countries needing to be protecting and needing to be careful. The whole system is based on evil. And that's frustrating, but I forgive. And I learned some lessons, big lessons, going through processes like this. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. I thought it'd be more interesting to have this video be me walking in Malaysia. I wonder if I can show you are those the famous, no. Where's the famous, you can see it behind me, the famous towers back there. Not sure what they're called. All right, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and stay powerful.